The data is overwhelming. Women in America are paid substantially less than their male counterparts for performing the exact same work. In fact, women are only making 72 cents on the dollar compared to their male counterparts. This is a problem that we've been dealing with as a country, for centuries. And frankly, we haven't seen any improvement in closing that wage gap since the mid-1990s. So something needs to change. Odds are, if you're watching this video, you have at some point in your career, and possibly even now, been discriminated against due to your gender when it comes to pay. There have been trailblazers and other women in the past that have really pushed the ball forward in trying to close this wage gap, but it's a huge problem, and it's projected to persist for decades still in the future. One of those trailblazers is Lilly Ledbetter. Lilly Ledbetter lived in rural Alabama. She worked for Goodyear Tire for 19 years as a supervisor there. She was one of 15 supervisors, actually, and was the only woman. Despite the fact that she had more seniority, more qualifications, she was the lowest paid worker by far compared to her counterparts. And Ms. Ledbetter did something about it. She pursued legal claims. In fact, she pursued legal claims all the way to the Supreme Court and stood with President Obama when the Paycheck Fairness Restoration Act was passed in 2009 in her name. This was a huge win for women. Now, as long as a woman files an EEOC charge within 180 days of the last paycheck in which she was discriminated against, she can reach back at least 2 years from that date in order to recover the difference in pay between her and her male counterparts, and in some situations, even 3 years. Look, this is a problem that's not going to fix itself. Other women are going to have to come back in the path of Ms. Ledbetter and others like her and bring these sorts of lawsuits. We know that companies are not going to fix the problem themselves. They are padding their profits to the tune of 22 cents on the dollar, every dollar, when it comes to what they're paying men and then what they're saving and paying women. And that's just wrong. The fact is, companies are terrified about women bringing actions under the Equal Pay Act because they know it's a problem. It's a problem that is too expensive in their eyes to fix for themselves. And what they're really scared about, frankly, is being a class action, a woman who comes forward and says, I'm not just trying to help and recover what I was discriminated against in my pay, but I want to also represent other women and have other women benefit from the lawsuit that I've brought. And so these companies are essentially hiding and waiting to get caught. And we get excited about doing the catching. Frankly, we feel compelled to do our part to fix this problem. And we have all the tools that we need. We want to be filing these sorts of suits. We want to be helping women to help themselves to close this wage gap that we've just been struggling with for decades.